First of all, how did Santander look? How did he get through that first workout? And do you anticipate anybody else later this week arriving at the major league or the Camden Yards side of the camp?
Yeah, Tony looked good yesterday. He took some batting practice. We did some outfield, some light outfield stuff. So pretty light workout. He'll go through it again today, kind of a similar where he's taking coach's batting practice, doing some cage stuff, doing some outfield drills. But happy with how he looked and feels good today. So we'll continue to ramp him up. He's tracked in the bullpen also to help with getting his timing back as fast as possible. We'll continue to do that as well, and he'll be facing some live pitching here shortly. As of anybody else, I'm not sure. We did send Klein and Handhold to our secondary site after the game last night. That being said, we're going to continue to bring guys back over here. We got more inter-squad games as well as exhibition games that we're going to the guys that we send over will come back on occasion.
Dan Conley, you're up next. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, Brandon, you had talked a little bit about the possibility of DL Hall joining the Bowie camp, also with Grayson Rodriguez, and we also kind of mentioned Diaz. Where do those three guys stand at this point?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think that they're going to get hopefully invited. We'll see, but I don't think we're ready to announce any of that yet.
Rich Dubroff, you're up next. Go ahead, Rich.
Brandon, overall, how comfortable are you with the options that you have for coming up with a 30-man roster?
With what now?
With your options for coming up with a 30-man roster. How comfortable are you with the options that you have right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for the most part, we've stayed fairly healthy. I think I think everybody else around the league, we're really nervous about what this last 8-9 days. I think that we're a couple weeks in. This is kind of the time during spring training a little bit where guys can get fatigued a little bit, and you start worrying about really getting to the finish line with everybody healthy. So that's my main concern right now, is to having everybody healthy and ready to go on the 24th. I think we've done a good job up until this point, but we still have such a long way to go to keep everybody on the field, to keep the pitchers to build, to stretch out starters. I think anything can happen in this next week, and so I'm just trying my best, and our coaching staff is doing our best to keep guys ready, but also to hopefully break this camp healthy.
John Mealy, you're up next. Go ahead, John.
How's it going, Brandon?
So, Johnny.
I'm sure some of the pitchers some of the relievers who came in yesterday with the runner on second have experience with that before, but what was their feedback on that, and what did you think seeing that happen in the flesh?
Yeah, I think it was just something that we wanted to look at and work on it, not only offensively but defensively. We did some stuff earlier in the day, some situational offensive drills that we did, and kind of took that into our inner squad yesterday. First and third offense, runner at second base, nobody out offense. Then we worked on it defensively during the inner squad. I think you saw last night how challenging it is to not let the guy score. I think there's so many things that can happen, and I wanted our pitchers to come in the game and with that mindset, but also wanted our defenders to see what that looked like also, and how we're going to defend in that situation. So, yeah, I thought it went well. I thought we executed fairly well offensively. I was happy about that. I thought a couple of our guys out of the bullpen did a nice job trying to limit the damage. So we're going to continue to work on that here the next week. We're going to continue to put guys in game situations. This morning, we're going over some late inning defense stuff for our infielders and outfielders. We're going to talk about that. So we're trying to cram in as much as we can here in the last week.
Steve Molesky, you're up next. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Brandon, a couple questions about the Bowie camp. Essentially, will that group just play inter squads throughout July and August to stay ready? Are there any other things you have in mind? And do you have to be on the 60 to be a Bowie, or could you bring additional minor leaguers just to get work?
No, you have to be on the 60. Yeah, so you have to be in the player pool, 60-man player pool. Yeah, I had a Zoom call this morning with all the staff that are going to be in Bowie. I think the bottom line is that you're going to try to simulate a season as best as you possibly can with doing inter squads, continuing to stretch out starters, to be able to fill in a major league game with short notice. I think that's going to be tough. And to not have a AAA season, it's challenging in that you're not going to probably be playing 9-inning normal games, but you're going to try to simulate that as best as as best as you possibly can. So we're going to try to match up starters down there to be able to cover us when needed, as well as develop. We have young guys down there also, guys that haven't been in the big leagues yet that we're going to continue their development. And same with position players, is try to keep them as game ready as possible. That's not going to be easy because you're not playing, like I said, a normal season. So try to get as many at bats as possible. Try to make it game like. Try to get the game reps defensively also. I think we're going to be creative in how we do that down there.
Stan Charles, you're up next. Go ahead, Stan.
Brandon, two questions about the outfield, and I apologize, I've missed the last couple of days. Dwight Smith, what's the latest with him? And DJ Stewart, with the appearance it's going to be his time to really get a shot at this. How do you feel he's handling that?
Yeah, Stan, good to see you. Yeah, Dwight Smith, I can't comment on. DJ Stewart is coming to the camp and playing really well, taking really good at bats. Really making defense a priority also. He's working his butt off with Anthony Sanders in the outfield individually on a daily basis. So I like the improvement he's making there, and that's going to continue. Made a couple swing adjustments that you should really stand behind the ball nicely right now and driving the ball to all fields. So I like DJ does, he plays 100 miles an hour. And the adjustments he's making offensively, there's some improvement there, and he's taking some really good at-bats here in these inter squads.
Nathan Ruiz, you're up next. Go ahead, Nathan.
Hey, Brandon. Between Valleca, Velasquez, Stevie, how do you feel like your roster versatility compares to what you had last year?
Yeah, it's big for those three guys play so many positions that it's nice for us. I mean, you're gonna need that. We're gonna need that in this type of year for sure, any year, but this is a unique one. I've actually put Stevie over at shortstop a couple times just to kind of see what that looks like. He's taking some ground balls over there. So to have the ability for those three guys and Valleca's played the corner outfielder a little bit in Colorado, and he takes live reps out there during batting practice. So Val's able to play multiple positions. Velasquez is real comfortable at short and in center, can play second easily. So that's huge for us, for him to be able to play in the middle of the field, and Stevie also. So I think that it's a nice competition between guys that can play multiple positions. We're looking for the versatility. All three of those guys are playing well right now. So it's as many guys as we can have that can play as many positions is for the better for us.
Rob Long, you're up next. Go ahead, Rob.
Good morning, Brandon. At this point in summer camp, would you say the pitching is a little bit ahead of the hitters, or you don't notice a major difference right now?
I think I thought a little bit early. I thought the first few days the pitchers were ahead, and I thought the last couple days we were starting to take some better at bats. I think that's kind of natural as you see more live pitching and you see guys start seeing more breaking balls, etc. Start taking more at bats in game situations. You're going to get a little bit more comfortable And I feel like the last 2 or 3 days, our guys the at-bats have improved.
Jerry Coleman, you're up next. Go ahead, Jerry.
Good morning, Brandon. You know, at spring training, obviously, there is a little bit of an atmosphere as you guys are getting ready for the season. Now that you're basically isolated with these intra-squad games, I'm wondering, is there anything that you're able to pick up with the coaches and the players, maybe about how you guys will conduct yourselves going forward in these empty stadiums in terms of communication and making sure that everything stays private?
Well, there's not a whole lot of privacy in an empty stadium.
No, I just mean once you're facing another team. I know it's amongst yourselves right now. I'm just wondering going forward when you get into the regular season.
Yeah, it's going to be unusual not having fans in the stands and probably be able to hear things going on in the other dugout. So I don't think I have never been a part of an empty stadium game. I've been in the Florida State League, so that's kind of close at times. But I don't know what it's going to look like. We're going to miss the fans. I mean, that's such a just playing these inter squads. It's when you got Jim, Mike, and Jennifer in the stands. It's not quite the same. We love having the fans there and having an atmosphere. So it's definitely going to be strange. I think it's going to be easy to talk on the field. It's going to be communication and pop-ups and those type of things should never be an issue because you really can hear everything. So I just think we're going to do the best we can. I think, the leagues, everybody's going through the same thing. And it's not ideal. And we're going to have to bring our own energy for sure. And it is. We really wish the fans could be there for sure.
Jeff Arnold, you're up next. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Brandon, hope you're doing well. I wanted to ask you, in terms of relievers that you've kind of watched, there's been a lot of talk about the starters, but as far as relief pitchers go, who stood out for you?
I've had a few guys have really thrown the ball well. I feel like Miguel Castro threw the ball great last night again. Upper 90s fastball with a good slider and a good changeup. Like the way Richard Blyer has thrown. Cody Carroll's thrown the ball well. Tanner Scott's been outstanding. Really throwing the ball, throwing 98 with a nasty slider. He's been fantastic. So I think a lot of our guys in our group are in a good spot. And now it's just continuing to get them more work, keeping them healthy and hopefully rolling the season ready to go.